Everybody come and catch the show. You want dad jokes, they got plenty of those. So relax and listen on as Dev and Kyle start the apocalypse.
There we are. How you doing, Dev?
How is my microphone setup and placement?
It sounds great, buddy.
For the inside joke to the people out there at home, for the past 20 minutes, Kyle and I have been using Adobe Podcast Beta to check our mics.
You can't, I mean, it's a free product, so I guess we can pimp it, but it's working okay.
I don't trust it.
We tried our best this week, Cass. That's really all that I can say.
I didn't try shit.
The other thing that I can say is welcome to the show, everybody. This is Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse episode. It's the current episode. That's what I've given up.
Mm-hmm. I can't count that out. I ran out of fingers and toes.
We've been doing this for more than a year. Two dads making a podcast. That's the joke.
That is the joke.
How you doing?
I'm doing. I'm wondering why, because I see you have a t-shirt on. Mm-hmm. Number one.
I do have a t-shirt on. That's true.
I don't know what you have on below that because we're sitting, and I don't want to know. Okay, well, you got gym shorts on, but you have a robe on.
I do have a robe on. Yeah, because it's a little chilly in here. My office is like probably 5 degrees Fahrenheit colder than the rest of my house, particularly when I close the doors. I don't turn the heater on. Because I just use the heater in here when I'm not actively podcasting and getting rid of the background noise. I have a little space heater in here, so it's got a little fan noise. So I turn that off when we're recording.
But you're cold.
I am cold.
And you got a robe.
Yeah, this is a thick...
Instead of getting a hoodie.
No, hoodies are for going outside. Robes are for relaxing as a dad.
No, you get the hoodie and the sweats. And if you're still cold, then you can get a robe. Robes are for like, I just got out of the shower and I'm going from the shower to go get dressed. Or like, I just got out of bed.
Why would I get dressed in a robe to go get dressed? If I just got out of the shower and I'm naked, I would just go directly to my clothes.
Because maybe your clothes aren't easily accessible without crossing paths with someone you don't want to be naked in front of.
What kind of showers are you taking where you didn't have the 7 seconds it takes to plan out where your clothes are going to be after?
Well, sometimes I get out of the shower.
Like these like surprise ninja showers?
Well, no, I'm okay. I might take a shower in the kids' shower because I like it's like a tub instead of an actual just shower. So in our bathroom, we have a shower.
Yeah.
With like you
have an adult shower.
Magnetic. Yeah, an adult shower.
Yep.
And it's kind of conforming cramped.
Conforming? Oh, it's just small. It's like a stall.
Yeah, it's like a stall. But it's an average size for a master bath.
4 foot square, something like that.
Yeah. But in the kids, you got the tub and it has a curtain. And then we've got the shower head that comes off with like the hose, like the nozzle with the different pressures that you can put on there.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that more. So I might take a shower in there and then need to rush into our room.
Why don't you just get a better shower head for your master shower? Because you are the master of that domicile. You should be mastering your shower.
Because I'm indecisive and I can't decide on what shower head I want.
Oh, because I can tell you which one to get.
Is it a Kohler? Is it a Delta? Is it a Moen?
It is actually a Moen. You got it right the third time.
Third time's a charm.
I'm actually going to move it for the opposite reason that you have. I like the master shower. I have approximately the same shower that you're talking about, like a 4 foot square. Yeah. And I like that. You could never convince me to get in a tub shower combo and tell me that that's like more space or better somehow. So there's no chance that I'm ever going to the kids' shower. But downstairs, we have another shower that's a little bit of like, it's just a shower, but it's smaller.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm tempted to go in there and why I'm going to actually move my shower head in there is I have one of those atomizing shower heads. Have you ever heard of those? Where
atomizing?
It makes just a super fine mist.
That doesn't sound fun at all for a shower. I want some pressure. I don't want just a mist.
I agree with you. Like normally I'm not a drippy dew shower guy. You want it to have like some real pressure.
Right. I want it to feel like I'm power washing the first layer of my epidermis off when I'm rinsing.
Well, the first layer of your epidermis is like 19 layers of dermis deep. That's a shower that's going to turn you into the Nazis from Indiana Jones.
All right. The I did not think that through. Obviously, I was trying to embellish a little bit.
No wonder you need to put a robe on to stop the bleeding.
Mm-hmm. Yes, to stop the bleeding. It's just it gets all over the carpet. I get yelled at.
I love how you're gushing blood in this story and you're getting yelled at. Well, I guess that happened in the last time you told the story about you gushing blood in your own house too.
Exactly. I still got scars to prove that I got yelled at for that shit. You break bones and need stitches and you get yelled at for dripping blood.
That looks like it looks like a little nipple on your elbow now. Just like a sort of a large, just a male areola right there next to. Well, when you rub it like that, it makes me feel weird feelings. No, so
in a good way, right?
I'm specifically going to go and talk about shower heads so that I don't have to answer that question.
I mean, shower heads and a certain feeling after a male areola has been rubbed in front of you. You ever been to prison, Kyle?
What is it, Christmas on this show, Dev? Come on, what are you doing? Talking like it's Christmas Day. The point of the shower head story is that I agree with you that normally a high pressure shower is where you want it. But when you have this atomizing shower, you get triple the steam, which is the other thing that I want out of a shower, right? High pressure, yes, but also it's got to get real steamy. You can lose all the pressure. Okay, maybe not. Let's see. But you just lean into the steam with this atomizing shower head. But the problem is you have to turn the water temperature up to like scalding, because when the mist comes out and cools off like very, very quickly, like even before it hits your body.
Right.
So you got to set the shower temperature to like 150 Fahrenheit, where it would normally just burn your skin off. But when you put it on the mist, then you get actually hot mist. And it's great. But I'm going to move that shower head into the smaller, tighter, confined space of the guest shower because I want to just steam the shit out of it. And then also that guest shower has like a little window that you can open, like above it. It's like maybe like a 12-inch tall window, 24 inches wide. And it's at about like eyebrow height for me, which is above most people's heads. But you can just open that up to the outside world. And so when it's a little bit cold outside, and then get a shower beer and turn on the hot steam.
Shower beer.
Fantastic. And then I get out and my clothes are right there, and then I put my robe on over that. I've had a fantastic afternoon.
Fair enough. I can't do the fine mist. I gotta have that first layer of epidermis just gone off, and I gotta have the hot too. I gotta have the steam. So I want it to scald my second layer of epidermis, so I have 3rd-degree burns, and just
you're just gonna be like a bleached skeleton at the end of this story.
Yeah, that's me. I feel clean though. I feel super clean because of it. I feel like I've gotten so accustomed from watching my dad as a kid, watching my dad like clean the car and using high pressure and like scrubbing with like something that's slightly abrasive, but has a little bit. I mean, it's not
like
going to scratch a clear coat. Yeah, like this show, or slightly abrasive. And very hot. A lot of pressure.
Yep. That's what we were saying. Super hot, slightly abrasive.
That shit got in my deep psyche to where I felt like that's how I had to clean myself. Like, you got to clean the car. You got to scrub hard.
Your dad really loved that car. And so you think that if you just give yourself a hot wax, then maybe your dad will really love you.
That's something I need to bring up with my psychiatrist, I guess, because that's some deep shit that I've never thought about there. That's
speaking of bleached skeletons and deep shit. That's an actual segue.
Bleached skeletons in deep shit. This is all right. I'm all on board where this fucking train's going.
There's an update to one of your favorite stories of the annals of podcast history, Dev.
Which one? There's a list.
Guess. Based on that segue, which is directly on point, guess which one has an update.
Shit and bleached skeletons and why am I thinking of the fucking rat shit coffee?
It's not rat shit coffee. That's pretty good though. It's actually dinosaur cloaca.
Close. I was on the right track.
Definitely thinking of a place where poop comes out.
Yes.
Here's the deal, Dev. Another set of scientists have analyzed, again, if you missed the previous episode where we talked about this, it's the first fossilized version of a dinosaur cloaca. And the cloaca is the universal hole that crocodiles, dinosaurs, and birds all use for all their jobs.
Everything.
The pee-pee,
it all comes out one.
The egg laying, all of it. One hole. Very efficient. The cloaca. They found a fossilized dinosaur cloaca, only the outside of it. And as you can probably imagine, it was sort of smashed flat. So in our first version...
No, I can't imagine it just being smashed flat.
Dude, like when a dinosaur falls down and dies...
Its butthole, its pee-pee poo-poo hole.
In order to get the fossil, the dinosaur had to sort of smother the cloaca like a hand grenade.
The foss hole?
The foss hole. The fossil surrounds the foss hole.
Foss hole.
Foss hole. Yep. Okay. So we had that first set of scientists. A second set of scientists.
Numero dos.
Have made a 3D model of that cloaca, and they have published a paper in which they take umbrage with many of the findings of the first cloaca people based on their Captain Kirk 3D model that they can now spin in space and look at the club door from every angle. Now, again, science is great. We should all be investigating all the things that we should investigate. There should be no end to scientific curiosity.
Yes.
I bring this up really because this is journalists living their best life. Okay. I have selected for you just a few of the quotes that the journalist writing this article has chosen to include. And I swear to God, there will be a link in the show notes. You can read along that I am not going to embellish any of these choices. They are all copy and pasted from this one.
This better be good. I have high hopes. Like, you have set the bar at Olympic pole vaulting heights. Just so you know.
Well, I'm going to cross it with like I had a billionaire's spaceship.
You're going to fucking jump the shark like you're Elon Musk or Jeffrey Bezos.
A scientist, Dr. Kelly, who, quote, specializes in the evolution of genitalia, end quote.
Hold on. Time out.
Yep.
1 sec.
I told you. This could be the whole show.
Specializes in the evolution of genitalia.
That's not her general area of expertise. She was brought in to consult. And I swear to God, I'm famous for refusing to Google on this show. This scientist who, and I'll remind you, her business card says specializes in the evolution of genitalia. She was presented with this 3D model of a cloaca and said, you know what I need to do right now? Start getting pictures of cloacas. She specializes in the evolution of genitalia. And when she heard about a dinosaur cloaca, she was like, oh shit, boys, get the Polaroid. I got to go take pictures of all of the cloaca that I can think of, ostensibly because she didn't already have them.
Is this like going along the lines of like Rule 34? Is this the territory we're crossing into?
I don't think so. Or at least I'm going to pull it back.
All right.
Okay.
And for those that you don't know, go and Google Rule 34. If you don't know what Rule 34 is, go and Google it. I'm sorry, but at the same time, I'm not sorry. You need to know.
You do need to know. Welcome to the internet. If you didn't know by now, you need to know.
Yes. Is this Dr. Diane Kelly?
It is Dr. Diane Kelly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Brandon Moore.
Yeah.
Is he also one
Dr.
of the?
Brandon, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what Dr. Brandon's got to say.
You ready? So she took a ton of new pictures of cloaca, but she said she had to find more pictures online. So the doctor of the evolution of genitalia is reduced to Googling crocodile buttholes
and pee-pee poo-poo holes
when she hears that they've got a 3D model of a dinosaur butthole for her to do these comparisons. Okay.
What the fuck?
That's the first quote, Dev. I've got more.
We just scratched the surface.
We are only at the door, not the club.
we haven't gotten deep to the cloaca yet. We're still grazing the outside.
We don't have a model of the club. We only have the door.
Just ringing the doorbell.
The article continues. They find another doctor who they make sure to mention is unrelated to the study. They just found another doctor, Dr. Manafzadeh. You'll see it in the show notes.
Close enough.
Regarding cloaca, and I quote, conspicuously absent from the roster are the majority of mammals, including humans. We are the odd ones out here, Ms. Manafzadeh said. We have weird extra holes. End quote.
We have weird extra holes.
Mm-hmm. Referring, I suppose, to the fact that the holes on a human being really only have the one purpose each, but the cloaca is the super Walmart of...
I can't. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to regain my composure here.
Yep.
If you keep going even deeper in this shit.
Oh, really? Deeper? Is that where you'd like me to go with this?
Deeper into the butthole, please.
Mm-hmm. Because for quote number 3, we return to Dr. Kelly. Dr. Kelly said that she strongly suspected that most dinosaurs would have been of the penis-toting variety. And by which she means that most species of dinosaurs, the male, would have had a penis. Apparently there are some species where there's no penis. And she's quoted. Now remember, Dev, as I read these words to you, I would like you to know that Dr. Kelly is a doctor, right? That's not her first name. Doctor's not her first name. She isn't a doctor.
Diane's her first name.
Yeah, Diane is her first name. Her quote is, for the most part, if you have internal fertilization, you have some method of sticking it in. End quote. She's a doctor, Dev.
You have some way of sticking it in. That's how a 6th grader explains intercourse to another 6th grader who heard it from his high school brother.
Mm-hmm. And as a doctor, she's been in college longer than that 6th grader's been alive.
I mean, sometimes the middle school explanation is the best explanation.
This next quote really sort of dovetails, and this is the last
there's
one.
More.
Yeah, there's 4 quotes. But this one is really sort of, there's like a 3A and a 3B, really, because the next quote really hammers home the point from the the previous quote.
From behind?
Mm-hmm. But the important part about this next quote is that when I remind you that they went and they got a different doctor to tell us this same quote. And these are all from the same article. So when I say shout out to the journalist, this is just
excellent.
Like any individual Queen album, just full of more hits than it has any right to be full of. we find Dr. Brennan, a different genitalia scientist. The article does mention, in fact, that Dr. Brennan is also a genitalia scientist, but of a different, I don't know, I think just at a different university. But Dr. Brennan gets to say, and again, quoting, I am 100% certain that at least some dinosaurs had penises. And it's one of those situations where, like, I didn't think about dinosaur dicks before I read this article, but I just sort of, you just assume, right? That, like, and maybe that's a very...
Well, you know what happens when you assume.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's a very human-centric view of the world, but I just kind of assumed that we wouldn't need two different people who spent their entire adult educational career specializing in the history of genitalia to get an opinion and then a second opinion. Dinosaurs had penises.
That big old floppy dinosaur dick.
The floppiness is not at all commented on. Just, I'm reporting the news here. I'm the Walter Cronkite of this podcast. That's, by the way, I'm deciding that now. I'm undoing any previous titles that I've had on. I'm now the Walter Cronkite of this podcast. I just simply report the news.
The Walter Kanye West of this.
No, stop it. And the great thing about Walter Cronkite is that he's dead. And I say that because he can't.
Kanye is dead to us.
Kanye is dead to us, but he can make things worse. Walter Cronkite, his legacy is written. So, I'm safe. I mean, unless the zombies come back, unless this podcast works.
Or cordyceps. You never know. Well, cordyceps would need a living host. So, yeah, you'd be safe in that aspect, at least.
For now.
Unless they find a way for now.
Life finds a way. Another doctor obsessed with genitalia told me that.
Life finds a way. That's my best Goldblum.
Oh, really?
There was something I had something profound to say, and I was holding it in because
about dinosaur penises.
Oh yes, I know what it was now. This is so profound. I can't believe that I forgot that I was going to say this. A T-rection. That was it.
Oh my God. Well done.
We are so fucking highbrow. If you have to have a high IQ to understand and appreciate the level of, I can't. I just fucking can't.
I'm just gonna roll with it. I clicked on two consecutive articles in less than 30 days. So Google just assumed that I wanted to read every article that there was to know about
dinosaur buttholes.
The plumbing of dinosaurs. I think the next article. So again, because this is highbrow, high intellectual podcast, we'll just bang them all out in a row.
Like the dinosaurs did that had penises.
They have just crowned a new world record for fossilized dinosaur poop, Dev. Did you know that? This is not a joke. It's true.
I really thought you were going to say something about like record for the biggest dinosaur dick.
No. Because if they had a record for biggest dinosaur dick, then that would settle. Dr. Brennan wouldn't just get to study them. He wouldn't have to be 100% certain, right? That wouldn't be an opinion anymore. They would have a fossilized dick, but they don't have that.
Because it's not a real bone. Well, why do we call them boners when there's no bone there? All right, I'm done.
Listen, Socrates, I'm trying to talk about dinosaur poop, and you're throwing me off.
Socrates.
Why do we call it a bone when it's not a bone?
It's not. Give you a bone. No, you're not. It's not a bone. It's cartilage. You dumb fucks. Yes, I was that kid.
World record for actually found dinosaur poop, and I will tell you, it's from a T-Rex.
How many Courics was it?
I actually know that answer. It's right here.
How many kitty Courics it was?
No, I don't know what Couric is, but I did actually, I copied the total stats, and it says there's a Couric. I don't know what a Couric is. Do you know what a Couric is?
Are you serious? Yes.
What's a Couric?
It's it is from an episode of South Park where It was like the biggest shit. And it ended up, I can't remember the details of the episode. I think Kanye got made fun of. Like he was like the biggest human piece of shit or something. No, Bono. Bono was the biggest human piece of shit. And they measured record-breaking shit that Randy Marsh took based on how many Katie Courics it was. So like the measurement for shits were Courics, like Katie Couric.
That's hilarious. I don't know how that could possibly be the conversion that they're using here, unless Katie Couric is a lot smaller than I thought. So it is 8.18 Courics. So if you know the conversion, that's a giant clue.
That's a giant shit.
Well, it's not as big as you'd think, based on your description of what a Couric is. So, Price is Right rules. How big do you think this shit was?
How big do I think the shit was? It was how many Courics?
It said 8.18 Courics, but I don't think that's the right conversion. Don't.
0.18. I'm going to guess, are we like doing pounds?
I have pounds and kilograms here.
I'm going to say 8 Courics. That's 800 pounds.
Yeah, so it's not. It says 20.47 pounds.
What?
9. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, is that this Couric's definition that you have, a Couric must be something different. 9.28 kilograms for our listeners who have not yet been to the moon.
I bet it's an actual scientific measurement, and I'd never heard of it before. And then South Park was like, we will make fun of it, but we'll tie it because it sounds like Katie Couric. We'll just tie it in because we're making fun of Bono.
Yeah, because it has to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 2.5 pounds in a Couric, just based on the other numbers. But I've never heard that measurement before in my life because I've never seen that episode of South Park before.
Is it spelled the same way as Katie Couric? C-O-U-R?
C-O-U-R-I-C.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Like, I can't think of it. Is it really? No, I'm all right. I have to go to the Google and see.
Well, while you Google it, I will tell you that it's 27 inches long by 6.2 inches in diameter.
I completely misremembered the measurement. 1 Katie Couric is equal to approximately 2.5 pounds of shit.
Why?
I don't know, but that was from the episode of South Park.
All right. Well, I just want to point out to everybody that I did the math correctly.
Yeah, you did the math to the nose, and so did the poop dinosaur scientists.
The official Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse word of the day today is coprolite. C-O-P-R-O-L-I-T-E. Coprolite. And that word means
coprolite.
Fossilized excrement.
Fossilized excrement.
Coprolite. So it's T-Rex poop.
T-Rex?
That's just under 21 pounds. Now, the article did make it clear, and this is another... So, you guessed about 800 pounds, right? Dinosaurs were very large. So I don't think that it was... we all saw that scene in Jurassic Park where, there was the T-Rex poop that was, up to the man's waist. I didn't realize, frankly, that the poops that we had found were so small because much like there's two scientists, in fact, who have studied dinosaur genitalia, there are many scientists who have made some guesses based on no evidence whatsoever that how large a Brachiosaurus poop, like, the giant cousin of the Brontosaurus.
Long neck motherfuckers.
They have an estimate for how big a Brontosaurus poop would be.
50 Courics.
50 Couric? No, way more than 50.
100 Courics.
Yeah, approximately. They say a Brachiosaurus poop was probably in excess of 3,000 pounds for the poop. So 100 Courics would be 2,500 pounds. So you were pretty close for Price is Right rules. That was pretty good.
I'll take it. Wait, I thought a Couric was 2-point-something pounds.
2.5 pounds.
So 2.5 times 100 wouldn't be 2,500.
You're right. It would be 250. Yeah, so it would be 1,000 Courics. Would be 2,500 Courics. Yeah, you got it.
Numbers are hard.
Well, they're hard when I've had a whiskey tonight. Yeah.
He has a whiskey drink. He has a vodka drink. He has a lager drink. He has a cider drink.
Nope. I don't mix my alcohols like a rookie. I had a whiskey drink.
I get knocked down and I get up again.
We're going to get DMCA'd. That's a performance.
Hey, Chumbawumba should be happy that anyone is still singing that fucking song.
I don't have this in my notes. You're going to be shocked to believe that I didn't think we'd bring up Chumbawumba on this episode. Did you know? I don't know why I found this out. Did you know that Tub Thumpin' was like one of their last songs while they were a band? And I heard this at the time, and I never questioned it because that's, it was the 90s. It was fucking wild back then, kids.
Wild, Wild West.
But I took it on good authority that this fact was true. That so that it is true that Chumbawumba is an Irish band, and that Tub Thumpin' was really their only popular song. But the other part of it that wasn't really part of the show at the time was that they are Irish anarchists, and that's why they were sort of one-hit wonders, was that the rest of their music was about just burning down the fucking system and down with laws. And then they also had Tub Thumpin', rose to fame and hated it, and were just like, let's get back to songs about Molotov cocktails.
Burn down the establishment while we get shit-faced from drinking all these mixed drinks together.
That's a fact from, I guess maybe it's not a fact. I don't know for sure. That's a thing I heard about Tub Thumpin' 25 years ago that I wanted to share with you.
That song is that old?
Oh, yeah. No, I was in high school.
Dear God.
Yeah.
What? No. Tub Thumping, 25 years old.
I'm not going to Google it.
Oh, well, I'm going to. It was from 1997.
Yep. That's 26 years.
Holy shit. I was going to say, that's even worse than 25. I'm going to assume, since you nailed the 25 years on the head pretty much, that what you said about them being anarchists is spot on. I'm not even going to Google that.
Well,
I am not Googling something. That's only like the second time in show history that I have refrained.
I'm not going to squander this anymore, that I have like a Dev believes me punch card, that if I just fill it up, tell Dev 4 true things, and then get a 5th one that he'll just believe for free.
Yeah. And then if you tell a friend, you'll get 2 punches on the next card.
2 punches in the cloaca.
1 in each hole.
There's only the one hole.
Wait, it's one singular. 2 in 1 hole.
Mm-hmm. It's a 2-for-1 special, the cloaca.
2 punches, 1 hole.
That's not at all what we want to have on this show. I feel like we need some sort of a palate cleanser.
Something that's not butthole related.
What else do I have here in my notes? I was writing a bunch of stuff. It's been so long since we recorded. I have so much stuff written down here.
I had notes, and I don't know what I did with my notes. I feel like there were things that I was like, hey, I need to talk to you about this on record instead of doing it.
These are actually MP3s, Dev. We don't send them out as records.
Oh, we don't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
What the fuck? There was something that I was gonna, damn it. I literally have lost my notes. I had notes on my phone in the notes section.
Is that where you keep them? Rookie.
I keep my notes in the notes section. Stupid app that doesn't. Wait. Those are from 2018. I have 2018 notes.
For the podcast?
Yeah, I was thinking that far in advance. Before I even knew you, I was thinking, Devin Kyle Start the Apocalypse.
I was impressed that you had spitballed the name Devin Kyle Start the Apocalypse 4 years before we met. That you were just waiting to meet a guy named Kyle because you had the perfect title for a podcast.
I'm very upset that I'm seeing the notes that I'm seeing because I did stand up once. I went to an open mic night and I didn't tell anybody that I was going because I didn't want any of my friends to show up.
You didn't tell me.
And I have some of the jokes that I tried that night. Oh my
God. Hold on then. Stop. Hold on. Wait.
I'm deleting them.
Hold on. Ready?
I'm deleting them. It's too late.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Oh, you're cheating the people.
No, I'm not. I am doing I just did everyone a fucking service. Those were awful. I thought I did decent in the moment, but just skimming through those and seeing the delivery, because I pretty much said them exactly how I had them written in that fucking.
You have to tell me one. What's one that you remember? Come on.
No. Come on. Nope.
Wow. There must be terrible. All right.
They were terrible. Like there were a few people chuckled it was on like a Wednesday night. There weren't that many people that were even there. It wasn't a full open mic packed crowd. It was mainly other people that were doing the open mic. And I was thinking, all right, somebody will come up maybe that's like a veteran that's been doing this for a while. That's good. Because there were some people that were there that were fucking hilarious. And I'm thinking, all right, maybe somebody will give me some pointers or something. Mm-hmm. And I tried to talk to this one guy who was really funny. And I had actually seen him at an open mic in Lexington a few years before. He only had one leg. And he got up there and his whole act was just like self-deprecating humor about not having a leg and being disabled. And just, I was rolling. And I tried to ask him for some advice. And he was like, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like,
cut your leg off. It's been working for me.
Get up there, just decapitate something off your body. But yeah, no. So, but joke time. I do have some jokes that I have
this is great
about not, these are not my jokes. These are jokes that I'm just regurgitating.
I haven't written this. Joke time is not about them being our original jokes. They can be if you want them to be.
Did you know that diarrhea is hereditary?
No.
Yeah, it runs in your genes.
I like that one. Do you want me to tell the worst joke that we've ever told on this show?
Yes. Wait, the worst as in like it's not that good of a joke, or the worst as in like it's highly just cringe, or like the worst in like this is a one-way ticket punching your soul into the eternal pits of hell afterlife?
It's really none of those. It's just gross.
Gross. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down for gross. One of my best friends, the first time he told me a joke was I met him in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a gross joke first, and then you can tell me your gross joke.
Oh, okay. We'll see if I can top it.
Yeah. See if you can top this.
Wouldn't it be funny if it's the same joke? That would be great.
I would probably shit a brick. So this isn't 6th grade.
Which you would get from your dad.
It runs in the family, in my genes. That'd actually be, if I shit a brick, it wouldn't be diarrhea. Preface the story. 6th grade, first day of 6th grade. I'd only lived here in Kentucky for about 6 months at the time. I didn't know anybody except for a few kids that lived in my neighborhood. Completely fresh, doing everything new, doing like classes and shit with transferring instead of just going and being in the same class all day, like elementary school. Go in, sit down. My first class is biology. So I go and I sit in the back of the class, and there are tables where it's 2-person per table. So I sit down, and this kid comes in. He comes back and he's like, is anybody sitting there? I said, no. So he sits down, and then 15 minutes later, class starts. He looks over at me. He's like, you like Legos? And I'm like, yeah, fucking love Legos. He's like, you like video games? I said, yeah, I love video games. He goes, you want to hear a joke? And I'm like, yeah, I love jokes. And the joke was, these 3 guys are out in the middle of the desert. They're stranded, and they keep seeing mirages. They're thirsty. They're dying. They're super hungry. And then they see this house pop up, and one guy's like, it's another mirage. It's not real. Don't even think about trying to go up there. And one guy's like, no, I'm going. And he walks up, goes into the house, knocks on the door, and this beautiful woman answers and says, you guys look like you need something to drink and something to eat. And the other 2 guys come running and knock the first guy over and burst in and just start devouring everything she's got and start drinking water. And she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop. I'm not letting you guys have another bite until one of you satisfies me. And then they start fighting over who's going to go upstairs. So the first guy's like, I got this. She goes, no, for the other 2, go outside and wait, and then come in and take your turns. First guy goes up. She drops her drawers. It's disgusting, just rotten, smells like dying animals, all kinds of stuff just coming out of her. And he's about to just vomit. So he runs out, runs past the other guys, just runs off into the desert. Second guy was like, well, I'm going up. I don't know what his problem was. Runs up, same thing. Runs off into the desert. Third guy goes up. He looks over, sees that there's a corn cob or a cob of corn laying on the dresser. He takes the first one. She's like, he goes, close your eyes and I'll make you feel the best you ever felt. He starts going to town with the first one, throws it out the window, gets the second one, throws it out the window, gets the third one, throws it out the window. And she gets up and goes, oh my God, I've never felt that good before in my life. You can eat and drink anything you want. So he gets all his fill, goes outside. The other two guys are out there and they're just going to town on the corn. And they're like, why are you smiling so much? We got this corn out here and all you did was you come out smiling. There's no way you do anything with her. And he just walks off and then gritted ear to ear. And that was the first joke I ever heard from this kid. And I'm like, that's disgusting as shit. I like you. Will you be my best friend?
That's how 6th grade works.
And it was also the first real dirty joke I'd ever heard in my life. And I know I just butchered the shit out of it, but it was, that was what I remember. I completely fucked the punchline up. That's why I did not do more than one stand-up night.
I think that's true though, because I also remember not even like the official first one, but like the first 2 or 3 dirty jokes that I remember hearing are not funny, like traditionally funny, but they occupy like a special place in my heart because it was like the first joke that involved people having sex. And it's like, if I think back on that joke and I'm like, how does that joke go? Yeah. It's like a story that just sort of ends.
You're like, that's it.
And people had sex during the story. And I'm like, yep. It was funny when I was 7.
Actually, I take that back. The first dirty joke I ever heard was a horse fell in the mud.
I'm not even going to, I'm not dignifying that with a participation.
You actually, I saw you hit the button to mute yourself because you chuckled.
I did.
That's exactly what you did.
That is what happened. What is the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea, Dev?
You can't garbanzo on a chick. You can't get a garbanzo to bean on your face.
No, it's that I've never paid for have garbanzo beans in my mouth.
I had an idea where it was supposed to go. I just didn't get the right delivery. I like my version better. You can't garbanzo a bean in your mouth. You can't get a garbanzo to bean in your mouth. Yeah, I like that better. You can't get a garbanzo to bean in your mouth, but you can get a chick to pee.
This episode is so fucking far off the rails. I've
other than maybe 2 episodes, and I'm saying even the 2 episodes that I'm thinking of still went off the rails because of the guests that we had on at the time. But our guest episodes are the only ones that have stayed really on rails for more than 10 minutes at a time.
I think we've impressed our guests with our ability. Well, no, I would say I think our guests have impressed us with their ability to stay on topic with the thing they said they wanted to talk about. And I sat down tonight and I said, I'm going to tell Dev about dinosaur buttholes. And eventually we got to the part where I tell you a story about a one-legged woman.
A one-legged woman?
How's that for foreshadowing?
She's only got one leg.
She never stands up during the entirety of this story.
Now walk it out.
I'm gonna walk you back to, this is approximately the same time that tub thumping was all the rage. So picture a grocery store, picture tub thumping on the Muzak inside that grocery store. It's 1997.
No.
In this grocery store, the hero of this story, it's me. I'm the hero of this story. I work at the customer service counter, and the story's so old that the customer service counter is attached to like a VHS rental place. And so we have a full sort of circular counter where returns happen on one side, and then behind us is the video rental store.
Blockbuster.
For those of you who don't know what a video rental store is, like just picture Netflix, but you have to walk around the menu. Everybody knows what Blockbuster is.
Even if you've never been to a Blockbuster, you know what Blockbuster is.
I don't think that's actually true.
There's a show on Netflix or a movie on Netflix about the last Blockbuster.
Called a Blockbuster? There's lots of Blockbusters on Netflix.
Oh, not that. You're going to confuse the youngins with your words, your verbiages.
If the young children of today are looking to me in order to stay unconfused, they're already fucked.
Fair enough. One-legged woman.
So I'm laying the scene because scenery is very important to this story.
Sort of topiaries.
So picture a circular counter, 360 degrees. Inside the circle of counter is where my job happens. That's where I'm supposed to stay the whole time. Behind me is a video rental store. Dev says you know what that looks like. It looks like a cheap Blockbuster.
Yep.
Outside the customer service counter is an area where books and magazines are arranged for sale. Okay. Now we've mentioned this poor lady only has one leg.
Hops up to you.
I don't even know why I'm telling you this story. This is so mean-spirited. I'm sorry. But we're just going to plow through.
She couldn't plow through. She can hop through.
Hold on, Dev. Please wait.
Oh. So is that foreshadowing?
Uh-huh. So she has one of those robo-carts because she only has one leg. So I realized that we have a highly international audience. In America, the robo-cart has like a big metal basket on the front, and then you sit in it, and it has like a motorcycle accelerator where you spin it, to get it to go. They don't go very fast as a top speed, but they have, what you find out is that they kind of have a lot of torque because they're designed to carry very heavy people, right? So they top out in motion at, 2 miles an hour or whatever it is they go, but they will hit that 2 miles an hour even if you weigh 400 pounds, 200 kilos in the chair. They have the torque to get to that top speed. You only know this when you're a professional grocery store worker, like I was in this story. So we have an area where books and magazines are sold, and it sort of comes around in this U, and there's an end cap that's filled with books and magazines. It's really important that I tell you that like the edge of the shelves on this end cap, like there's no side walls to the end cap. So the shelves just kind of stick out with like sharp square edges. And what you're thinking is that she somehow impales herself on these sharp square edges. And that's not what happens. She gets one of the sharp square edges caught just kind of against the tines of her shopping cart basket. She's just like on it. And so then she gives it full gas as she's trying to pull away from it.
Oh, no.
And the edge of the shelf is just kind of hooked in between two metal bars. And the thing is, it's metal. And so she's not going anywhere, even though she's giving it full acceleration. And then all of a sudden, it slips. Ka-thunk. And this gives her hope, and it shoots forward for just a second, but then it catches on the next one. And I'm watching her, and I'm just kind of like standing there. And in my mind, again, like the cell phone dropper story at SeaTac, it feels like it takes 20 or 30 minutes. It probably only takes 10 or 15 seconds. But then it happens again. She's just got the gas into this thing. Ka-thunk, ka-thunk. And she just keeps slipping the gear. And the metal tines of the cart are just one at a time slipping off this shelf and then catching on the next one. Slipping and catching, slipping and catching, slipping and catching. Until finally she runs out of cart. And when she runs out of cart, it slips that edge and she's got all gas. And she goes sailing off because she's had full torque. The thing was ready and it hits the governor, and she, like, even though she's got full gas to it, she gets up to 5 miles an hour and then back down to 2.
Yeah. Because
the wheels are spinning so fast. But what happens in that moment is that her fake toes.
Her fake toes?
Yeah, because she's got a wooden leg. Her fake toes grab a hold of the bottom shelf, and those fake toes grab a hold of this same shelf that her cart has been robo-wrestling with. And I'm standing here looking directly at ka-thunk, 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 and the fake leg just sort of spins in this lazy... No. The foot really never leaves the ground. And so it just comes up and it's bent at the knee. And then there's nothing else. And it does this like lazy pirouette. And then clatters to the ground. And there was no one else around. And she went sailing off into the liquor department.
Oh, God.
And it was like a Monday afternoon. And there were no other coworkers. And there were no other people. There were no other customers. And I was a child, like an actual child in this story, 17 years old. Clearly, I've proven by this entire episode that when I say I'm less mature than I am now.
That speaks volumes.
Volumes. And I had to not laugh at the funniest thing I've ever seen, maybe even to this day, in my life, as the Danielle Steele peg leg pirouette occurs in front of me. Ka-clank, ka-clank, ka-clank.
I'm laughing at the story because of the images I have in my head. But it's one of those instances where if I saw it happen in real life, my first instinct would be, oh my God, somebody's in serious trouble and needs some help. And then after I helped them and realized that they were okay and they were safe and not dying or in need of medical attention.
Well, I realized it wasn't her actual leg when it was not spurting blood.
Then I would be laughing my ass off about 30 minutes later once I got away from them.
The stump didn't look like your skin as you exit the shower, just bloody and gross. It just looked like a leg.
Wooden and splintery.
Not splintery. It wasn't like she wasn't made out of wood, Dev. Like it was
it was splintery after the Danielle Steele's pirouette.
Nope.
The John Grisham twirl.
The John Grisham twirl.
The Stephen King high kick.
The Stephen King high the King can. Who's that who's the other mystery guy? Come on now. We're gonna edit this out.
No, we're not.
Dean Koontz.
Dean Koontz. A great name.
I think that's what you just call it. It's just the Dean Koontz.
It's the Dean Koontz.
So I had to not laugh, which I deserve a medal for, and give her leg back.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you missing this?
You dropped this? No.
Did you spin this?
I went with, again, as I'm walking the plank out from behind the safety of my count. In my head, I'm like, what can you possibly say? What can you possibly say? And I decided to just go with, here you go.
Here you go.
That's all I had. I picked it up and I walked it over to her and I handed it to her and I said, here you go. And I walked away.
Bravo.
And she said, thank you as I was walking away. And I was like, I don't want to be here. You didn't want that to happen.
And no one else saw that. The closed circuit television did.
Yep.
But nobody else saw that. Loss and prevention is, they don't give a shit.
Holy crap. I can't even believe. I didn't even think I was ever going to tell that story. But you said that Mentor was a one-legged man. So I had to tell you that one of the funniest things that ever happened to me was about a one-legged woman, which just goes to show, like how you picked the name of this podcast in 2018.
I had a premonition.
It was meant to be.
I had a very deep premonition.
It's been a very enjoyable episode, Dev.
It has been? Are you sure about that?
Yes, it has been.
For you, for me, for the audience?
For them. I know that each one of them has really enjoyed it this week.
All 10 of you.
All 10 of you. You know, they have the AI is all the rage. This is the whole second half of the show has just been joke time. I wasn't actually going to use this joke as the joke time joke. I asked the Chat GPT to write a joke for this show. This is 100% true. There's no buried agenda here. I just thought, boy, everybody's talking about it. I've got a podcast. I should talk about it too, right? How banal is that shit?
Let's hear what the fucking AI wrote for us.
I asked it, write a joke that is appropriate for the podcast Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse, which is about two dads becoming friends. This joke should be in the style of George Carlin.
Okay.
I just put that out there. That's what I told the AI. And this is what it decided was in the style of George Carlin. Why did the two dads decide to start a podcast?
I don't know. Why?
To finally have someone to talk to who isn't their kids.
That's
the joke.
AI, get your fucking shit together. The jokes I just deleted out of my notes were better than that shit, AI. Come on.
Whatever episode we're on, our jobs are safe for one more episode. That's all I have to know.
And I just recommended ChatGPT to a client at work today.
Instead of your products, just like, hey, go ask the robots.
No, I was trying to save them some money because they don't have the budget. So I was like, hey, why don't you try out ChatGPT instead of having us do the work for you and go, this shit is difficult. Why aren't you fucking doing it?
Way back in one of the earlier episodes, we were talking about having emails that were auto written for us for dumb shit. I'm doing that all the time.
We need to reply to emails better.
We do?
Do we do?
I don't think we do.
We haven't gotten any emails. Send us your emails.
Oh yeah. It's because we haven't told anybody the email address this entire show. That's the problem. I'm falling down on the job.
No, they should know.
This could be their very first episode, Dev. They don't know.
Oh, if it's your very first episode, where the fuck you been? 15 times.
If it's your very first episode, this was the best one ever, frankly.
We say that every time.
It's because we continue to top ourselves.
We do? I mean, we do.
We do.
We do. We do.
That's right. Speaking of inflection, I have been Kyle.
I have been me.
And we have attempted to start the apocalypse. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Dev. Kyle, you hung like a dinosaur dong.
Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse is brought to you every other week with a full archive available at devandkyle.com. The Apocalypse theme and other music in the show is written and performed by Chase Noseworthy. He's Chase Noseworthy on YouTube or at NoseworthyChase on Twitter. All graphic design for Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse has been created by Dead Vision. Find her work on Twitter and Insta at XDADOTTER and book her immense talents at XDADOTTER.com. Audio engineering provided by Cassandra Umsong. She can make you sound even better than Dev and Kyle because you'll provide much better raw materials. Get in touch with her on Twitter at Coffee with Coom. That's coffee with COUM. Dev and Kyle support artists and creatives of all types. Exposure is for film. Artists need compensation. If you're interested in becoming an apocalypto to help keep supporting all of the artists who make Dev and Kyle sound passably professional, please consider becoming a sustaining patron at patreon.com/devandkyle. Show notes, transcripts, and any other information from this episode should be available at devandkyle.com if Dev and or Kyle did their job. Fingers crossed. Finally, deeply and sincerely, Dev and Kyle think that you are a wonderful person who deserves love and compassion. We hope our small gift of what we consider interesting or entertaining has made your day even the tiniest bit better. Thank you for liking or subscribing in your favorite podcast app. And if you think others may want to know about this show, consider leaving a review in that same podcast app. It really helps us spread the word. Thank you.